Harvey. What do I always tell you? Life is this. I want this. Today's video is an important one. I would almost say a historical one. Because today I'm beside a car that I did not think that I was gonna be able to get my hands on. The LS Heritage Edition. And the reason I didn't think I was gonna be able to get my hands on it is there's only 5 made for Canada and only a few for the US as well. Hey, if you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe for more Lexus related content. So let's get into what makes this car so special. And the first thing that you're gonna notice is the glossiest, blackest paint on any Lexus that I've seen, in the new lineup of Lexuses at least, called 90 Noir. To kick us off, as the homage that the Heritage Edition LS really speaks towards the brand. It gives it a very blacked out look, and almost like wet paint type of look. There's no metallic, there's no depth to it, it's just gloss. And I think it does a really good job of making this car look like the VIP that it is. But let's talk about the LS for a second. This is the car that launched Lexus in the early 90s and, depending where you lived, maybe even the late 80s. A car that defined what luxury was possible from the Japanese automaker Toyota in a realm that was pretty much owned by the German manufacturers of Mercedes, BMW, and Audi at the time. This is a car that redefined what the brand was going to look like over the coming years. And it's kind of crazy to think that this is the end of the LS. In fact, if we were that really famous British car show, this is where I would roll the clips of all the videos that I've done on the Lexus LS over the years. In fact, it kind of reminds me of my LS that I sold, the VIP LSF that I had. Enough talking about sentimental things, let's get into it. So we have the black out paint, obviously this kind of in between F Sport and luxury grille. It is a plastic grille, and when you get up close, it's not quite gray, but it's not black. It's almost like maybe like a charcoal, I would say. That is trimmed nicely by blacked out chrome. I mean, at first, I kind of thought this car could use some chrome, but this one, looking at it now, actually kind of suits it. It doesn't make it an accent, it kind of makes it subtle. The Lexus emblem is chrome, however. And then we have these daytime running lights. Very nice frosted signature there. And the nice thing about the LS, there is all these details. Like for instance, the way that the bumper curves is the same as that daytime running light. We have a triple beam LED headlight system, as well as a little Lexus logo there. I always think it's cool when you go up close to headlights and there's actually some stuff going on. Hidden underneath, you will see this signal. And by the way, something about the LS signal light, it always like brightens all the signs around me. Like I always think that it's a really, really bright one. And underneath that signal lamp is the cornering lamp. So it's actually hidden in that same housing, shoots out to the side so that you can see curbs and stuff like that. We have our headlight washer, some parking sensors, and some accent. And this is more like a decoration than actual active aero. Although I do feel a little vent there. So we have a little bit of active aero and a not too bad ride height, but you can change that even if it was a little bit too low for your liking. As far as the hood, we have a big black hood here. There is a little bit of body lines. You can't see it as much in this color. And also, by the way, guys, I'm trying not to touch the paint because my best friend Jamie would tell me that whenever it comes to a black car, I always love them too much with my hands and I always end up scratching them. Just like my Supra is the exact same color as this. This line and that line kind of wash in until you get up close to it, but otherwise, lots of presence on this front end. All right, the rear of the LS is also very blacked out. We have black badgings for where it says LS 500, where it says all-wheel drive. Of course, we have just the chrome L emblem. And then at the very bottom, there's not much of a diffuser or anything under here. Instead, Lexus decided to go with the, oh, I just opened the trunk. Amazing. Kick sensor on the trunk, and I was about to say the exhausts are integrated. The LS always has such a large trunk opening. I mean, there's all those videos of like the old car salesman selling an LS to a bunch of mobsters and he crawls into the trunk to show that, you know, a body could fit back there. And it's still very much the same with the LS. I will say, There's no pass-through on this one, which is surprising because usually they have a pass-through, but usually that sometimes means, I wonder if the seats fold down. We're gonna have to take a look when we get in. But more importantly to all of that, I wanna show you my favorite rear end feature of this back, and that is the taillights. This is like the only other vehicle in the lineup that really reminds me of the LC taillights, where there's like some layers and dimension to it. It's not the same, but it almost creates an illusion that's the same as the LC. And there's lots of three-dimensional space in there. So when you're sitting behind this car in traffic, it does catch your eye. You think, who's in that car? What celebrity is in that car? It's got that type of back end, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you wanted to fast forward to the interior, I totally get it, because that's where the LS really shines. But before we get all the way in, I just want to talk about this door panel, which there's not a lot of cars that I could just like point out a door panel and be excited about it. This is one of them. So with the LS, we have this floating armrest design where when you look at it, especially when you're in the driver's seat, it looks like it's floating. And that is a really cool sort of design feature. We have some beautifully stitched and sort of swooping stitch lines that all meet sort of in the middle of that door panel. We have it sort of reminds me is the Shimanoku wood. And the cool thing about that type of wood grain is the way Lexus had it is, imagine like two pieces of wood sandwiching a sheet of aluminum, and then they use lasers to cut the wood and expose the aluminum. That is the craft of making that. What the end result is essentially a modern take on wood grain. This was in the previous generation RX. I've seen it in some LS before too. I always thought it was super cool. You don't see it much anymore, but I like to see it here, and it's trimmed off by that silver and sort of another floating door handle. And then obviously our seat settings, etc., etc. But just wanted to point out this door panel itself is a work of art, and there is ambient lighting built right into that bottom seam there. Getting inside though, and by the way, that thump, so solid. I don't know what I like more, the soft close or the thump that the car makes when you shut that door. So sitting in the driver's seat, there's a lot of beauty around me. There's a lot of space around me. There's so much to go over. I can't wait to talk about it. So one of the things I mentioned, I'm gonna start at the top left, is now when we shut that door panel, it fits up to the dash in such a beautiful way. It's almost satisfying just to see that. We have a little vent on the left, and then we start the dash design that follows through on this side as well. It is sort of that theme of exposed aluminum sort of drifting through the cabin. And again, everything is meant to be visually appealing to the eye. So I really love that. I love the layered dash. Everything is soft touch. Ooh, wow, okay. Here's something new. I didn't realize it's leather here, and it's probably, you know, injected plastic underneath. But then as you get closer to the windshield, it's almost like a carpet up there, which is kind of cool. It's like a textured carpet. It's not Alcantara. It's not soft like the Alcantara, but I'm sure there's a reason for that. Speaking of Alcantara, we have an Alcantara headliner and A-pillar. My LS that I owned, the 2014 that I had, also had that, which was beautiful. We have the driver in control theme here. Now I love when Lexus puts like a theme to something, and that's supposed to be like someone riding a horse being in control of the reins. What I mean by that is you don't have to look away from the road to use the Sport Plus, Sport, Normal, Custom, Comfort, Eco. So with the LS, there's so much personality that this car has. One of the personalities is no personality. That would be the comfort mode. So putting it in comfort, you're gonna really soften up that suspension. The throttle is gonna be almost non-existent. It's gonna be so soft and automated and just a cushion. Really great for long drives or for bumpy drives in the city. Eco is like that, but more focused on saving fuel. We go into normal, the car is gonna choose what's best for the situation. We go custom, you can maybe tighten up the suspension, but keep it in eco mode, things like that. Sport is the same as normal, but with quicker throttle response. It's gonna hold gears longer, all with like the intention of like acceleration. And then Sport Plus is that exact same thing, but tightening the suspension to match it. All of that is controlled by this switch right here. Then to the left, we have traction control off and a snow mode. So both of those well within reach. We have some steering wheel controls, and they are the old school ones. I can't believe I'm saying old school, because the new steering wheel controls on a lot of Lexuses are like the soft touch buttons, where, you know, they're not really buttons. These ones are buttons. So we can control things like volume up and down. We can see some different things on our screen. And by the way, that gauge cluster is the newer style. So that's that's what came out with the launch of the TX in 24, was this new gauge cluster. It's customizable. It's got lots going on, sort of like preset. And I just find the letters and the numbers to be really, really sharp. So that's really nice. Heads-up display, we have one of the largest heads-up display in the lineup. Again, you can customize that, make it so it's small, make it so it's big, all that fun jazz. We do have the ride height button, so we can make the ride go up and down. Radar cruise control, all that stuff, all on the right side here. And then we have some paddles. They are plastic. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The paddles are plastic. Kind of surprised by that, but I don't hate it. It's fine. We have a driver monitoring system. So I know everybody's talking about, oh, AI is gonna watch me drive. Not really. This is just to keep your eyes on the road and be able to give you features in some cars like traffic jam assist, which is really great. So that is watching your eyes and your face to make sure, A, you don't fall asleep, and if you do, the car will pull over. It might even just tell you that keep your eyes on the road. Don't look at that golden doodle walking by. Keep looking ahead there, buddy. The seats themselves, super, super comfortable. There's a really nice stitch going on. There's different panels. I always love seeing that. They have a ton of different adjustments. They have the thigh support. I'm pretty sure these ones, I'm gonna crank that thigh support just to see. Oh yeah, super great. You can raise the headrest. Very, very customizable there. And there is a nice little nuance on the headrest. So there is a stitched silhouette of the LS right on the headrest there. Lately, I've been such a big fan of that. I miss my LS for that reason. One of the reasons is many reasons. Nice little detail there. Speaking of nice little details, right here in the center, there is the LS Heritage Edition. And if you try to touch it, it's actually below the glass in the wood grain that's under there. So it's got like a hologram effect to it, which is kind of cool. It's almost like looking at a pearl. There's like, you know, some blue, some red, some yellow reflecting there depending where the light hits it. I think that's very classy, especially when you're sitting here and you can like see that before you put it in gear. I really like to see that. And this wood grain is a little bit updated too. It's a softer wood grain, I would say, where, you know, you see a bit of texture, but it's not super loud until you get up close to it. Nice size gear shift as well, everybody. Kind of where you rest your arm on this very massive, comfy armrest. Your hand kind of just goes there anyway. So it is shift by wire, meaning it just goes into gear and snaps back into place, but still really nice. Heated and cooled seats. We have our heated steering wheel, and we have the ability to put some curtains up and down in the back, which is great. We have the armrest that opens from both ways. I'll show you that. Also in there, there's a little tray, a USB-C, a USB-A. I always thought it was cool that Lexus had this guy. This is like a little tray that comes out of the front of it. I don't know what it's for, but anyway, it does. And then there is a wireless phone charger that it's like the best one in our lineup because your phone just sort of like goes there. It's half sticking out, you won't forget it. And it's also kind of out of the way and not a distraction. 2 cup holders and a cigarette lighter here, even though it's like a cigarette outlet now. Again, in the right spot for your hand to go. We have brake hold, automatic parking. I think it's called intelligent parking, adaptive parking, I can't remember. You press a button, the car parks itself. It's come such a long way. And actually, I'm getting a little choked up because I remember the first Top Gear that I watched was on the LS at the time. I think it was the LX600 HL or something like that. And it had that button. And they said that it was so ancient and like so slow. And now it's come so far. It's so fast. It parks itself so fast. And yeah, here we are sitting in the last one. That's pretty emotional. We have panel view monitor, and then we have a seat button. And I'm gonna just really quickly show you. It's a quick shortcut to the screen that gives us massaging seats. So we have all these different massaging seats. We have centripetal, we have centrifugal, we have upper body, lower body, lumbar, and it's good. It's really good. You can feel them moving up and down your back. It's great for a long drive. It keeps the blood flowing. Is it gonna replace going to the chiropractor or massage therapist once in a while? Absolutely not. But is it gonna help you on that long ride where your back starts to get sore? Heck yes. And by the way, this car's so comfortable, I don't even think you're gonna get a sore back. But if you do, it's there, and that's pretty cool. A couple USB-Cs there, and then we have our climate control up here. The LS was always the first one to have the collar tune knob, and I really liked it. In fact, I listened to more radio with that, because you can change the channel and change the volume right in the same swoop, which I think is really great. And then we have the latest Lexus multimedia system, all of our climate control. Don't forget, the LS has the climate concierge, where there's sensors around us picking up on your body temperature, the air temperature, all of those things to adjust the flow of HVAC. And that is a pretty luxurious thing, especially in 2026. You might also notice the color of the seats is Rioja red. I will say for some reason they seem brighter this time around. Could be because it's the Japanese made, but they don't seem as dark as the Rioja red in the RX. It's almost like closer to that circuit red, but I do really like it. Some other notable mentions up here. We have a Mark Levinson sound system. Not just any Mark Levinson sound system. This is one of the best Mark Levinson sound systems in the world. It's the reference series. This car structurally is designed for Mark Levinson. There's a really cool podcast with one of my favorite authors and car enthusiasts, Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm, if you're watching this video, let's hang out and talk cars. You're probably not watching this video because you're way cooler than that. But Malcolm Gladwell had this podcast called Go and See, and it's all about Lexus and some nuances about Lexus. Talked about the roof coming off, and that was in an LS, and how the Mark Levinson sound system is so well balanced and put together for this car that if you're an audiophile and you're driving it, it's almost like there's no roof. Because usually a car is not a very balanced place for audio. Think about it, there's metal, there's glass, there's road noise, there's, a sunroof that reflects the sound, there's all these things. The Mark Levinson sound system in this car is so well balanced, it's almost like you're not in a car. Instead, you're in a sound room listening to your favorite artist. You can hear every detail. It's very, very nice. And when you think about it, Mark Levinson isn't just a speaker company. That's not what they are. They're an audio processing company. That's really where they got their claim to fame. And the LS is the perfect car for that. That's actually why the collaboration together in the first place. Before I get out of the front seat, one last detail I just noticed, and that is some subtle design artwork in front of the passenger. You can see some textures. You can see the light hit it a certain way. And I think that's a really, really cool thing. So sitting in the back seat, which let's be honest, this is where a lot of the owners of LSs sit. A couple things surprised me, good and bad. Or not good and bad, good and other. One of them is there is no side curtains in this one. A lot of them do have that. This particular package does not have the side curtain. However, everything else is so beautiful. We have the metal grille around the Mark Levinson speaker. We have that continued dash work. And Lexus doesn't shortcut any of the rear seat amenities and qualities because this is where a lot of the owners sat. But there's more. We have our cup holders in this center armrest that comes out. It is a hefty center armrest, so when you have it down, this is more comfortable than most of the furniture in my house. My fiance isn't gonna love to hear that, but it's the truth. This back seat is by far one of the most comfortable back seats I've ever been in. We can up and down the curtain, which is nice in the back, so you can actually give yourself some privacy with some of these buttons. We have the headrests that have the logo, because again, the back seat is important. We have heated seats back here, and there's a button where we can move the front passenger seat out of our way. So if you were sitting on that side, which is usually the side a celebrity would sit in because it's closer to the curb, you can press a button and it'll move that front seat either backward or frontward or whatever you want, and it's all automatic, which is really great. And I always thought that was really, really cool. Also in here, we have our little bit of storage, USB-Cs, pretty much that's it. Oh, there is an actual 100-watt wall plug here. So 120 volts, you could plug in your laptop to charge it or your tablet or whatever if you needed a wall plug for something. I think that's really cool. I wouldn't be doing this car any justice if I didn't talk about something that I used before filming today, and that is the vanity mirror. It's got a very nice soft light, and even sitting straight back, you don't have to get up close to it. You can just sit straight back. You can check to see where I missed shaving yesterday, and to make sure that my eyes look as blue as they do on TV, and check your tie, check everything else. And the goal with that is so that when you get out of the car and the paparazzi is there or whatever your engagement that you're going to, that you're looking good and you can see it. And that's the back of the LS. I will say my head does touch it a little bit more than I expected, but if you go back to my old videos, my hair wasn't as long. So that could be why. My hair was not as long. Getting a haircut tomorrow. And there is like this little hook here for your, oh, and also the holy crap handle up top is also high quality material. So again, everything in the LS is really over the top when it comes to craftsmanship. Okay, so enough about the inside. Let's talk about what propels this beast of a car, and that's what's under the hood. Under the hood of the LS is a 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 with lots of ponies, well over 400 torque. And I know a lot of people in the comments always say, well, I miss the old V8. I miss that, 4.6 liter V8 that the LS used to have. I've owned the V8 and I do love it. It's smooth, it's got a good sound to it, all that things. This did two things for me. The engine under this hood feels way faster and more athletic. There's no doubt about it. When those turbos kick in, it's got that grab, it's got that go. And also it doesn't feel as heavy on the front. So that front end, it's a little bit lower mounted as well, has a little bit of handling. So you can still get up and go, and it does still sound good when you rev it. This engine doesn't have those reliability problems that you might read about with a particular engine that sounds like it's the same engine in maybe a very similar company, maybe in a truck form, where for some reason the LS has not had any of those issues. In fact, it's been extremely reliable, smooth, powerful, and again, just an overall great round car. With this Heritage Edition and those little nuances that Lexus did, I need to say bravo, Lexus. It's not easy to have to send a car off into the sunset. It's not easy to say goodbye to such an instrumental part of the Lexus lineup. But coming out with the Heritage Edition was a proper gentleman and lady version of a goodbye. That's that handshake after the end of a beautiful night with a group of friends, or that embrace with those same friends saying, I'm not gonna see you tomorrow, but hopefully I will see you again. And that's what the LS has done here today with the Heritage Edition. Very big congrats to the owner. I'm so happy that we were able to get this car for them. One of 5 in Canada, and we're a small dealership in the Niagara region, but we're a destination. And I'm very proud of the owner of this. This is gonna be their 3rd or 4th LS, and they have a bunch of other Lexuses from us as well. So I'm super proud of that. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Heritage Edition. Was it a good send-off? And do you know, as the viewer, what's to come with that LS badge? Because Lexus has been teasing us a little bit with what's replacing this car. I'm Dustin Mason from Performance Lexus in St. Catharines. Make sure you hit like and subscribe for more Lexus related content, or reach out to me, send me a comment, and we can chat about some Lexus stuff. I'll see you in the next one.